Can you, no voice, yeah, I was checking. Guys, can you hear me now? And Kindle, you can log out and log in back once, right? Rest everybody, can you hear me crystal clear without any issues? Great. Let's start, right? Guys, good evening. Happy Sankranti, Pongal, Lohari, all the festivals that you had last week, right? So let's start today's session. Cool. Before we start, did you have any questions in whatever we did last week? So last week, it was mainly how do we attract audience, right? This week, we will understand what is audience aggregation, right? Before we proceed, anybody has any questions in whatever we did last week? First, let us start with any questions that you guys have, and then we can start today's session after FAQs that we can have. There was one question which somebody had on RSS feeds. I'm not sure who had it, Rohan or somebody, if I'm not wrong. Am I right? Rohan, you had a question on RSS? What is RSS feeds? Since there was lack of time, I said I will answer this today. Who had that question? Anybody remembers? RSS, what is RSS feeds? Rohan had it. So, Rohan, RSS is nothing but, let us assume you visit a lot of sites. Let's say carddeco.com or some sites, the content of which keep gets changing, right? So there are some sites which have static content. Some sites keep changing their content because their products keep changing or they have new updates or blogs. They keep writing. So what you do is when you browse multiple websites, it is tough for you as a reader to read so many sites or have an update on so many sites. So you install a RSS app or a RSS feeder on your computer or laptop or even phone for that matter. And if other site also has a RSS feeds feature in that, whenever there is an update on that site and you have added that to your RSS feeds, right? So you will receive an update like a desktop, you will get an alert on your screen that this content is just updated or the new content will come up as a pop-up. Basically, it's a mean to keep yourself updated with the latest content on the sites that you want to follow. That's RSS feeds. So you need to have a feeder on your computer and the other site should also use RSS feeds. It is mainly used for blogs or sites like Carddeco or Zomato who keep writing stuff or reviews about other websites. Okay, Rohan, is that clear? Where do you enter substances show on the feed? So you will have to you will have it's an application. So you can go online and look for RSS feeder or RSS feed, and you will get a host of applications. You can just install it on your laptop or desktop or phone, and then you can keep adding it as and when you want. So let's say you want to add on cardeco.com, you open the RSS feeds and add, let's say, YouTube over there. So whenever YouTube has an update, it will show you the updated content. Okay, Rohan? Got it? Great. Guys, any other questions? So just in case if you have any question which is not in the deck and if there is not enough time, then maybe I can go ahead and answer this in the following class. Let me check one more question. Another question. Say it has been a couple of months that I have set up my family business website and now I want to have a blog section. After I post my first blog, how do I go about increasing my SEO for that blog? Okay. Rashid, good question. But SEO itself is a big topic of 32 hours. There are some techniques like you can use techniques like deep linking for your mobile apps or backlinking. That's called off-page optimizations. Backlinking, trying to make it famous. You can exchange your blog with other bloggers. And there are something called on-page optimization. On pages, you build very good content, right? You use tags in your header, tags of meta, right? Tags of title. So you have to use on-page optimization and off-page optimization. It's not a blog. Any website, if you want it to come on the first page of search engine, it has to be optimized, right? So for us, it's a blog, right? But for, if if Google crawls it, they have spiders for Google, for Yahoo. The spiders will not check for blog or whatever, right? They would only check for the source codes and the content, right? So it's blog or different kind of websites for us, but when Google search engine crawls, for them it's like any other normal website. So if you want your page to come on the top, then you have to optimize your landing page by using various SEO techniques. Right, Rashid? Great. Guys, any other question that you want to ask? Good question, Rashid, by the way. Yeah. Anybody? Okay, so I do not see anybody typing, so let me start today's session. So today we will discuss about audience aggregation today and on Thursday. So today mainly I'll try to give you real life examples on how we segment the data, and Monday we can and on Thursday we can see some real life case studies. Okay, so let's start. The agenda for today and Thursday is audience aggregation orientation and how to use audience aggregation implementation using emailers. Why emails? How to use it? That we will decide. Okay. So as per you, anybody who wants to contribute, what do you mean by audience aggregation? Anybody knows this concept or anybody wants to help me to understand what is audience aggregation in a layman's term? Forget online marketing, forget any other way of marketing. Generating audience, that's first step. After the audience, what do you do? Specific field, Rashid, you're very close. So when you say specific field, what do you mean by that? Can somebody build on this? Targeted field only? Yes. Malika, you're almost there. Rachit is almost there. Bucket categorization. Absolutely. Yes, Rachit. Business related. So capturing attention of people, Kinjal, that is, first step. After you capture the attention, what do we do? Right? So logically, if I capture the attention, I may get 100,000 people on my website, but not all of them are my customers. Audience aggregation basically means trying to identify common features or common characteristics of my audience, right? Something in common, right? So that I can make them my leads. So if you have 100,000 people coming to your website, you have to segment them in different ways. A simple example is there are a lot of people who come to our website of digital vidya, right? Some of them look for inbound course, some of them look for SEO course, some of them look for AdWords, some of them look for a complete course of online marketing. So we have to aggregate the audience based on their browsing pattern, right? This is called segmenting audience. In other words, it's called audience aggregation. Right, Kinjal and the rest of people? Basically, I need to understand the common features of my future customers. Right? That's basically audience aggregation. Understanding the common features of my audience. And then it's easy for me to make relevant content and capture more and more audience. Yes, people? Agreed? First of all, I need to understand who are my main customers. What is the common feature among them? Once I get to know that, I can nurture them to make my leads. Right? So now let us first understand a quick thing of how do we get the audience. We did this last week. This is important, so I will repeat once again. You have to use engagement magnet, right, to attract audience towards your content. So what are the different pieces of content? Anybody? We did this last week, a quick recap. So what are the different pieces of content and what are the attached engagement with this piece of content? Ads. So Nitesh, if my piece of content is ad, what is my engagement? Great, Yashna. Ads clicks. After ads, any other thing? So once I see the ad, I click on it. What happens? I click on the ad, then what happens? What do I do? Landing page. Absolutely. There could be a form for us to fill or there could be an offer to use their product for free. Content. Website. If it is an email, usually it's a link which again comes back to our website. Agreed? Why this is there? Yes, absolutely, Yashna. This is there to capture, right, or to get or attract people on a website and keep them engaged, right? Now, let us assume, you know what, let us assume there is a sale from Amazon, right? Free 70% off, 80% off, or 90% off, whatever. And then if you use Paytm or whatever, you also get 1+1 ticket free on Book My Show. So in all likelihood, your traffic will be double or triple. Agreed? Yes, if I have some offer on, let's say, Book My Show, which usually comes, but are all of them your customers who will buy from you often? Not really. So this kind of audience is mainly there for discounts, for offers, right? That's one way of doing audience aggregation. Somebody who only comes to your site when you get a discount or an offer. But there are some people who would come to your website very often to buy product which they need to buy, right? So this is how you will have to understand audience aggregation. So there are two ways to do audience targeting. First one is demographic targeting. What is demographic? Based on the personal profile or the professional profile. Personal profile is your name, age, gender, right? Whether you are married, unmarried, engaged, your status of relationship, right? Which area are you from, which location? That's your personal profile. When I talk about profile, which is your official profile or something which is professional, it is mainly which company you work for, which domain, which industry, how many people are working in that company, how many people report to you, something like LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn gives you details of all the profiles of a person's corporate life or his business or official life. Something like Facebook gives you all the details about the personal profile, right? That is the reason most of the social networking sites, they usually ask your name, age, gender. For example, why does Facebook wants to know where was the last check-in? What were you eating, drinking, dancing, bathing, or whatever? Facebook has so many options. Have you ever realized if anybody has got engaged recently, the moment you put engaged, you get lot of ads. Don't says yes. Okay, congratulations. You see lot of ads about wedding, honeymoon, all that stuff. You should not realize. The moment you put a picture of a newborn baby, you see lot of ads of, diapers, powder, baby stuff, or stuff required for just new mom. Okay, guys, hold on a moment. Kinjal is not able to hear. Right? Agreed. So have you ever thought why does Facebook want to know where you have checked in last? What were you eating? What were you drinking? Your location? Definitely they will show relevant ads to you. Agreed? Same way, you can use data of LinkedIn or whatever and show you ads based on your official or business profile, right? So there are lot of CRMs, right, in the market which are available, paid, mainly paid, wherein if you just give the email address, let's say you give my email address, and with the same email address, I have a Facebook profile, also a profile on LinkedIn, also a profile on Pinterest and Twitter. It will give all the data at one place. It's difficult, right, to first find the Facebook profile, then go to LinkedIn, find LinkedIn profile, go to Pinterest, check the interest of the person, all that stuff. So there are a lot of CRMs which give this data automated. Like you give the email address, they'll throw all the data. One of them which I was using until some time back, a bit expensive, is nimble.com. So nimble.com, you put the email address of the person and it will try to get the information of that person from different social networking site and keep everything on one page. That's demographic, right, way to have audience aggregation. Okay. Now comes interest. Based on the interest, based on what the person is reading or browsing, you can show the ads. So type of the content published, consume or engage. There are million of sites, Nitish, right? So Nimble is something which I kind of used once, so I know this, but there are a host of websites, okay, which you can use. And I just forgot, in case if there's any problem during this training, this is number which you can reach out to, right? Interest. How many of you know Google AdWords over here? Has anybody used AdWords or has an idea on Google AdWords? Mohit is okay. In that, there is two networks, search network and display network. What is display network? Anybody? Display network? Okay, YouTube. So display network, video. Display network, image, yes. Is basically search is you search for an ad and it's shown to you, right? Display is shopping ads. No, shopping ads is not display. So display network is basically, let's say you're browsing quickinfo.com or irctc.com or Times of India, BBC. You see some ads over there randomly based on your previous browsing history, based on your interest or whatever. That is called display network. Now these ads are shown over there based on person's profile, their gender, their interest. Also, we add something called list of remarketing. So, list of remarketing. Then we give some websites like, let's assume I sell sports articles. Agreed? So, if I sell sports articles or let's say sports stuff like cricket bat or cricket kit or whatever, it makes sense for me to show my ads on espnstarsports.com, right? espnstarsports.com or Cricinfo. Agreed? Rather than showing it on, let's say, Doraemon or Chota Bean. Which one will give me more business? If I, let's say, sell cricket bats or cricket kit or cricket gear, should I show my ads more often on Cricinfo or on some channel like Chota Beam or Doraemon or whatever? Which one will give me better business? Anybody wants to help me out? Logically. Why? Because my ads are showing to people based on their interest. That is called interest way to target. So these are two main ways to target audience. One is based on the person's personal profile and his professional profile. And second thing is interest. What does he do? What does he read? Right? Does anybody know what is Pinterest over here? Pinterest? Pinterest, yeah. So Pinterest is the best example. It is one of the fastest growing site in social networking where I can just pin my interest, right? And that is it. Right? That is, just hold on, somebody just came in. That is the way to interest targeting. Pretty clear, guys, on this? What is personal profile, professional profile, right? Audience aggregation, what and why. So before we proceed, let me ask you a few questions, right? Just to understand what you can do with audience aggregation. I'm sure most of you are working somewhere or have your own business, right? So people who are working somewhere or have your own business. So for Malika, I was just trying to understand, make you understand different ways to have audience, way to target. One is to demographic based on personal profile and the official profile, business profile. And the other thing is based on the interest that they browse on the internet. That's one more way to have audience aggregation. Maybe if you read lot of stuff on yoga or fitness freak, then it makes sense to show you ads on fitness articles or fitness equipments, right? This is how you have to do audience aggregation. These two ways of, okay? And Nimble is one of the CRMs which you can use to integrate everything. Now let me give you an example on this. Can you guys quickly type in, right, if you're working somewhere or have your own business, how old is your company and how many customers does your company currently have? Just want to know that. Let's say I work for, let's say Amazon, for example. I work for Amazon. It's a company which is 20, 21 years old, and we have more than 10, 15 million customers, something like that. Can you guys quickly type in, if you're working somewhere, how old is your company or business, if you have a business, and how many customers do you currently have? Right? Can you guys hear me? Great. Next one, then quickly type that. 7 years, Malika, and how many customers does your company currently have? Mobile mass market, that's a big market. 6 customers, 3 years. Okay, that's it. Nice. 6 big customers, probably, definitely. 8 year old org with 70 lakh customers. Okay, Mukesh, wow. Right? I'm waiting for a few other people to quickly give their inputs, and then I'll make you understand why I'm asking this question. 9 years, around 20 customers. Okay, COC. Anybody else? Quickly. Okay, so the whole idea of asking this question is, okay, 5 years of having 10,000 customers, 2 years of old company, 50 customers. Great, Sanjay. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Deepak. Okay. Kindle, I think some problem. Yes, 1 minute. 30 years, 10 lakh customers. Yes, 1 minute. Okay. Okay, the whole idea I ask this question is, whenever you want to increase business, right? Whenever you want to understand how do I gain more customers, first thing is you open Excel sheet, get all your customers database at one place if you have access to database, and then make a pivot table based on this customer's common features. Why do we do that? It's a known system in the field of marketing that 20% of your 67 years, a lakh or so customers, wait just now. So people who have a large customer base like 1,000, 10,000, 1 lakh, 12, 2 lakhs, what you have to do is, if you have access to your customer database, it's much easier to expand. How? You open Excel sheet and, great Kinjal, welcome back. You open an Excel sheet and make a table which is called pivot table. How many of you know what is a pivot table? Right? So pivot table gives you different ways to arrange your data based on common features. Why pivot table? Basically, it's a known fact that 20% of my customers get me 80% of the business. That's the known fact of marketing. So if you identify 20% of your top customers, it's much easier. Instead of focusing on 80% of customers who get only 20% of revenue, right? For example, if, if I'm doing a business and I understand that 20% of my customers are somebody who eat pure veg food, right? It makes sense for me to try and promote myself more to people who are pure vegetarians, right? Because they are giving me 80% of revenue. Agreed? Now, let me give one more example. Something we face real life, why we have to do audience aggregation. Okay? Guys, for the next half an hour, I will not change my screen, so don't worry. I'll just try to explain you how you can do audience aggregation. We had one famous speaker who would go for a lot of trainings for corporates, for PD, right? Somebody who was a master speaker, master trainer in black belt for how to improve quality and all that stuff. So this famous speaker was showing his ads randomly across online and offline. Online using AdWords, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever, and offline through paper ads or whatever. And he could not gauge his ROI. He is pretty expensive. So around one lecture will cost like 2-3 lakh rupees. Something on the lines of Alma Mater. If you guys know what is Alma Mater, or like let's say Deepak Shinde, who is one of the great speaker of Art of Living, something on those lines. Pretty expensive to get his training, but he was not able to gauge his ROI and not able to understand how can he get maximum returns on his ads that he is showing across all the channels. So he approached us, right? And we wanted to understand how do we start. So first and foremost, we got his customer base of the past and customer base who are existing. And we understood that most of his customers who can afford his training or who can take his training are from big honkos, big companies, big corporates, maybe CIOs, CFOs, project managers, project leads of big corporates. You can also be a CEO of a small company, let's say of 20 people, 25 people, but that person would not be able to afford his fees, and also that person does not require his services. What we understood was, since he was a master black belt with art of living, MA in psychology, all that stuff, people who take his training are mainly corporate honkos or hippos, highly paid person in office, like a project manager in, let's say, Wipro or Accenture, or a general manager in Cognizant or Google, right? So first we understood his audience, who can afford his fees and who can actually use his services. Then we understood that most of his people, most of his clientele usually travels a lot in flights, right? So if you are working in a corporate company, if you're working for a big MNC, you usually travel, and this travel is of course by the company in economy and business class, both classes, and they usually travel in early morning flight or late night flight. Okay, that's what we understood. So then what we did was, because all these CEOs or CFOs or project managers, they usually fly in flights, and that's the time they're usually free. They cannot use their phones, they cannot talk, they cannot do anything. That's the time they are usually free, and we understood that is the time we need to show his ads to his customers. No, so this data was given by him, right, Malika? So he gave us his customer's profile. Of course, you will maintain your customer's profile, and then you have to understand that data. This is what we understood. Definitely, if he understood that, he would not need us. That's the job of people like us. You, me, everybody. That is a job of somebody who is called a campaign manager. People like us who are learning campaign management. So what we did, in-flight magazines, we started showing his ads over there. We stopped all the paper ads, everything. We were only showing AdWords, the two taking the profile from Monster and Naukri, showing it randomly, and we were showing his services or about him in-flight magazines. Why? Because 80% of his customer revenue was coming from these corporate hunkos who usually travel on flights, and that's the time they are usually free. Do you think this would work, or do you think this worked for us? Any guesses? It definitely did. So what we did, we got his customer profile, right? And based on that, we started showing ads to people who actually will use his services. This is basically audience segregation. You understand the common feature of your customers and then find customers who have similar traits like your existing big spending customer, right? Let me give you one more example. Maybe that's really much more easier for you to understand. I have a friend, okay, who owns a bakery and sweet shop come bakery. And since I like eating veg food, I keep going to his bakery whenever I'm free. Why this happened almost like 18 months back or 20 months back. So one day I just went to his bakery randomly and he told me that, you know what, his bakery is doing good, but can I help him in some way to improve his business using all the tactics of data, audience aggregation, all that stuff? Can I help him improve his business? I said, yeah, let me try. The same help. Okay, Deshna, maybe this example might help you if you have a bakery or food product. So I said, okay, let me try. I told him, do you have any information about your customers who come and buy from you? He said he has nothing. The only thing he has is a bill book. In the bill book, there are four informations, right? First one is the date of purchase. Second thing is the product that the customer bought. The third thing is the number that he or she bought, maybe 3 samosas, 5 pastries, 6 cakes, whatever, and the final bill amount. In case of birthday cakes or birthday gifts or whatever, they would also have the name of the person whose birthday it is and the final amount and the date of the birthday, right? That's what he had, and he said he has no data. For him, it's no data, but definitely for people like us who are into online marketing, data mining, all the stuff. Do you really think we have no data to play with over here, or do you think we have some data? Data is date of purchase, the stuff the customer bought, how much they bought, and the total amount. And in case of birthdays or wedding anniversaries, right? Definitely we have the date and name of the person. Price is important data. Okay, how will it help you? Kindle says don't have enough data. Okay. Anybody else? Do you think we have no data? Or is this data can be used somewhere to improve his business? Then what do you think? I am not trying to reach the customers. It can be used somehow. I'm trying to understand how can I improve his business. So if it can be used seriously, how can it be used? How it can be used? Absolutely, Manan. Like birthdays, special events, one thing. It will tell us the customer preferences. And by doing that just now, what can I do? If I know my customers' preferences, what can I do, people? So Manan says birthdays, events, great. So one thing is, if I can get their birthdays or special events, I can send them a message Absolutely, Yashna. That's very, very good. Shreyoshi and Manand are very, very clear, right? So if they have a birthday or anniversary or whatever, he started calling them. He started to sending them a message and trying to give them a discount on their future purchase, right? And as Mohit and Yashna said, right, what we can do is, right, I can understand what exactly is my customer's preference. What is selling more, in which season, and what is not selling. That way, what I can do, I can plan my inventory. If I plan my inventory, I make less losses because I'm trying to produce something that the customers want, right? And if I have my store in two different areas, I get to know the customer's taste in both the areas. No, this is not outbound marketing, seriously. I'm not even talking about inbound or outbound marketing. I'm trying to understand how you can use data, right, to understand your customer base. Right, Shreyoshi? That's my whole idea. I'm not talking about inbound or outbound. I'm trying to explain you how we can use customers' data to improve our business efficiency. So, as Mohit rightly pointed out, right, I can also improve my product. What I can do is, let me check somebody has a point. Krishna, I'll save in our business. The movement can suggest what all or what. Absolutely, Malika, you're correct. So, Krishna, you have same data. What you can do is, this will help you to understand your inventory, right? Inventory of products that are hot selling, so you will have less wastage. Second thing is, maybe I have a very good product, something which I think is very good, but probably it is not visible, right? Maybe I have a strawberry pastry, which is one of the best in my bakery, but it's not visible to customers. I will keep it on the front, or maybe I can have an offer on something which is not selling. If I have an offer for 1 week or so, people might like it, and then maybe I can sell it more, right? Third thing is I can have a repeat customer base because I have their date of birth or wedding anniversary or some events that they have in their office or home or whatever. Right, people? Fourth thing is if I am selling some item, right, like a hot cake or whatever, I can produce it more, right, and definitely increase my profit on that part. If something is not selling, I will have an idea of what is not selling, and maybe I can change the product, change the taste or whatever to understand what is selling and make it like that. This one got it? This is basically how you need to profile your customers in nutshell. And this is how we did, and it's definitely his bakery business or profits improved by almost 25% in like 1 quarter because of the small suggestions that I gave it to him. Right? Are you guys able to follow now? Why we should do audience aggregation? Something we should do to understand, right, how to target our future customers. Welcome, Jashna. People who are quiet, are you able to follow? This is basically because otherwise you will just play in the dark, right? You will have people coming to your, website and not doing anything. For example, if you have a restaurant, right? People come to your restaurant, they just see a restaurant and go out. Do you make any money out of it? People come to your restaurant, they just see a restaurant and go out. Do you make any money out of it? But you will make money if they eat at your restaurant, right? So the place where I stay, right? It is mainly a hub for veg people, right? People full of Madus, Gujaratis, Sindhis, all the stuff. So 90% of the food outlets over there are pure vegetarian, right? Because and they are owned by a lot of Muslims as well. Because they know if I want to succeed over here, I need to open a veg restaurant. They have understood the mentality of the audience staying in that area. Same way on your website, you may get lot of visits, lot of clicks. But what's the point if they are not going to use your product or service? This is why you need to understand the common features of your customer base. How do you do that? By using tools like Google Analytics, Kissmetrics, SEO Edge, something you have to analyze on your customer base and then make ads as per the customers that you currently have. I'll repeat once again, 20% of your top customers give 80% of revenue. The challenge is to find 20% of your top customers, right? One more life example. So again, one of my friend, he had a business, of doors and windows. You know, doors with expensive doors. You can see glass doors which has some really nice embroidery, brass embroidery. You can see things outside, they can't see inside. Windows with high-tech systems, windows which has aluminum coating or something which is very, very expensive, right? I'm not able to get the exact word, but high-tech doors and windows, something is expensive, right? So after his business started, within like 7, 8 months, he had 40 to 45 customers in his city, and he was trying to promote more and more. So earlier what he was doing was he used to go to all these infra companies, companies of real estate, companies of infra to give his products and services, and he had a really low rate of conversion. Definitely, if you are a company of real estate, you would not want to, use this expensive stuff unless you are a big builder and you're charging like a bomb to the customers. So he did not know how to expand his business further, right? He had one good habit. After every customers, once they finish the installation of the product, Kinjal, I'll answer your question. After this, I'll answer your question. Let me park this. So he had a very good approach. After every installation, he used to go and meet his customer personally, right? And after meeting this customer personally, he would basically ask his feedback, how it was, all that stuff. By doing this, he observed that all of his 45 customers have at least one expensive car. When I say expensive, something more than 20 lakh rupees, like a Superb or let's say a Audi or a Merc, uh, a minimum XUV of 18 lakh rupees, like a Fortuner. So he understood that all of his customers have at least one expensive car. Then he realized that people who can afford his high-tech, windows door with designs, with proper marble carving, all that stuff, are people who are actually rich and who can pay to get a proper finish in their house, right? This changed his entire concept of marketing. So then what he did, he approached all the leading, you know, automobile dealers like Mahavir, Skoda, Merck, Skoda, all this stuff. And there are a lot of ways to get this data. You go to this office, talk to somebody, and he'll give you this data for money. So that is how he understood his main customer base and got his leads from all these automobile sectors of people who have at least one expensive car. And he started to approach them, right? And people who actually like his work, he already had a reference. I have 40 customers, 30 customers. He had reference. People could go and see his work. He had made, an album with his work. And within 1 year, his customer base increased to almost 500 customers across the state because he understood what kind of audience will actually become his eventual customers. And he started to follow up with them rather than spending his time with infra companies. Right, people? Do you think this was a great idea from him? Just by observation, he understood his audience segmentation. Right? Thanks, Manan. Now let me answer Kinjal's question. But if I have a general store and I have an offline business and I want to start online, how can I promote to approach customers? Kinjal, if you have a general store right? And if you want to promote your customer base, the only way you can promote is, right, by having an app and by having an option for customers to reach, get the product at home, right? Because general stores are at every nook and corner. This is a very, very small level of business, unless you are a big supermarket, right? So if you are a general store, you already have competition from big baskets and other companies. The only way you can avoid get more customers attracted is by making your app famous in your own location, right? Otherwise, difficult, right? General store already has so much of work, to be very honest. So if I have a general store of offline, I don't have time to think online at all. Trust me. So the only way is by trying to become famous in my local area. And that's possible only if I give them options like free, home service, discounts, all the stuff. Right? Otherwise people will not come back. They will switch very, very quickly. Right, Kinjan? So guys, now you understood what is audience aggregation. Basically trying to understand the common features of your audience. Right? The first step is to get people on your website, to attract them. Once you attract them, you need to understand which of them will become your leads. Okay, cool. So audience aggregation is what and why. As I said, this is the framework. First, you do SEO, search engine optimization. You show your ads on, Google AdWords, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, all the websites possible. You do email marketing, you do social media marketing, right? You do a lot of this stuff to increase your reach. What is reach? I want to increase my online presence. So first of all, I should be visible, right? Once you have your online presence, once people start coming to your website, then you do audience aggregation. You understand the common features or the common type of features of your customer, and that is your leads now. So out of 100,000 customers that come to your website, you may have only 10,000 leads. That's possible. So to avoid irrelevant leads, to avoid irrelevant traffic, so if I'm using Google AdWords, people click, I have to pay. So you guys know it's pay per click, cost per click, CPC or PPC. So if I get too much of unwanted clicks, I'm wasting money. So it makes sense to understand my audience and then show my ads to relevant people so that I do not spend a bomb to get unwanted clicks. And once you get leads, you slowly push them towards sales. And how do you do this? By using tools like Google Analytics, KISS Metrics, and other tools of analytics. Any tool which will help you understand the engagement of your audience on your website is called a tool of analytics. Has anybody over here used any tool of analytics before? Like a GA, like Google Analytics? Anybody has used it? Yes. Okay, great, Malika and Nitish. So what is this? This basically, yes. So this basically gives you an understanding of how people behave once they come to your website. Once you have that knowledge, then you can use some other techniques to optimize conversion. That is called optimizing your existing leads to get more conversions, right? How to optimize that, how to get more conversions, we will learn in third week. This week we'll only learn about audience aggregation and to get leads. And where do you think audience aggregation fits in? Audience aggregation fits in each and every part of life these days, right? Even when we want to hang out with friends, we have, yes, Malika, you can do that. When you say captive, can you give more example? Can you be more specific? When you say captive, what do you mean by that? Is it based on gender, location, or what? What is it that? So Malika, in AdWords, you can do lot of options. You can have only one location. Malika, I'm sorry. Can you repeat your question? No, no, not through mail IDs. No, Malika. You cannot show through mail IDs in AdWords. Google will never share the data. What you can do is you can collect the details from analytics and do remarketing, but you will not be able to see your data. AdWords will do it automatically. You'll have to make campaigns over there on search and display, and AdWords will show your ads automatically based on the campaign settings. Okay, whatever settings you give, like location, gender, whatever, AdWords will show its ads automatically. But you cannot do it like email address, no. Right? So where does audience aggregation fits in? Almost every part of our life. Right? It can fit in politics. You guys agree? Audience aggregation plays a very important role in politics. Can you give a name of anybody who used social media and took it by storm for politics recently in the past 1, 2, 3, 4 years? Anybody who used social media really well to reach out to his audience, and then he changed the way things could have changed. Mr. Modi, of course, he had a Facebook page, he did everything possible. In fact, even Trump did lot of uh, campaigns online. This is where Trump understood. He understood his exact audience who will vote for him, and that was one of the major reasons for Trump to actually win. Right? So this is the newspaper called N-Pabla, right? This is like a 60, 70-year-old paper in Russia. This still has an offline newspaper. They also have an online portal. Look at this. They have more than 5 million people who still follow them online, and this is their reach. So whenever they have an update on the website, people follow it, right? Politics. So look at Narendra Modi on his Facebook page. He already has more than 28 million likes. This was like almost 1 year back. What is the advantage of this? Do you think Modi will fight the elections once again in 2019? He will definitely fight. Be it Modi, be it Congress or whatever. So what is the advantage? When they again will do their online campaign for next elections, they already have a customer base to start with. Modi will not have to start one more page. Do you guys agree? Right? Let's say Michelle Obama, she did something for Barack Obama in 2009. If Michelle Obama once again wants to start elections, it's not difficult for her. Right? It's very easy. She already has an audience which is following her online. And the biggest example is Modi. He has taken the level of audience aggregation to the next stage, which no one could have imagined. Right? He has used social platform to an extent that nobody could have imagined. Next time when he fights elections, we already have people who are following him on Facebook, on every possible social media channel. Right? See, everybody has a page now in politics. Audience aggregation on Facebook as well, right? So this is a very good page from HubSpot. HubSpot is one of the leading websites for inbound solutions. So it's very simple. If HubSpot has a promotion, it will be seen by everybody who is following HubSpot. So it says they have a new launch or the new office launch in Australia. Very simple. Whoever follows HubSpot will be able to see it themselves, right? One more link. Facebook is cracking down on like bait, frequently spammy links. I can click on this and read about this. Or if I want to have information about my next webinar that I'm going to have, I can use it for Facebook. People can come, like it. So based on this, I can understand my audience segregation. Somebody is looking for Facebook solutions. Somebody wants to come for a live webinar, or somebody wants to have something in Australia, right? So I can use audience segregation on Facebook also. How many of you have seen this page, India Against Corruption, on Facebook? Not many people say yes usually. Manan says seen it. Okay. Basically, this was the page which was created for the Lokpal bill, right? So they already have more than 14 million people who are following it, and almost 50,000 to 6,000 people who talk about it every minute, right? So next time, if somebody wants to start a fight once again against corruption on Lokpal bill, they already have people who are following it, right? Then comes audience aggregation on Twitter. Twitter is a very important tool for audience aggregation. Any idea why? Do you think Twitter is a very strong tool for audience aggregation? If yes, then why? Anybody? Okay, what do you mean by this tool called Twitter? What is this platform used for? Twitter as a platform, why is it used? Is anyone over here using this platform Twitter? Anybody is using Twitter right now? Public talks, okay. Does anybody use Twitter? Quick updates, hashtags? Absolutely. And what do you follow in Twitter? Something that you are interested to keep yourself updated. Yes, absolutely, Mohit. So usually Twitter, I will try to follow something for which I want to get instant updates, right? So audience aggregation on Twitter, this is the best possible tool to understand your audience mentality and to reach out to audience who like your product. And the best feature of Twitter is retweet. What happens when you do a retweet? What happens? When you do a retweet, what happens? Anybody knows this feature called retweet? It goes to all, absolutely becomes viral. When I do a retweet, all my friends will be able to see it. Absolutely. It will share with all the followers. And then again, if somebody will do a retweet in my followers list, his followers will see it. That's why audience aggregation is very, 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 very powerful in Twitter. For example, let's say Vipul, he went for some training for HasGeek. This is his tweet. Had an awesome time at DroidCon India. Super 2 days. Met lots of interesting folks. Left with an ear-to-ear grin for obvious reasons. And then HasGeek has done a retweet. That means all the followers of HasGeek will now understand that DroidCon India was fabulous. Then DroidCon India, she write once again, and hash DroidCon, India gets a mention in the Hindu. DroidCon and HasGeek has done a retweet. So all the followers of HasGeek will see that DroidCon India is now in Hindu. Then Soham had the best time at DroidCon. Everything was top notch. The people, the content, the company. Thank you for everything. Hashtag DroidCon. Again a retweet. Now just imagine the number of retweets HasGeek is doing. DroidCon will have a lot of followers now, right? This is the biggest advantage of Twitter. You can reach to the niche audience, people who actually want to see the updates. They will actually see and get engaged, right? Audience aggregation on email, right? What is this? This is an email from this company called Conversion Excel, using data to take advantage of the biggest growth opportunity in 2013. You see over here, I have two things in the email, right? First thing is, it says about some 136 CMOs were asked all the stuff. And second thing is asking about serious about increasing conversions. Based on what people click on my link, I will do audience aggregation. If people click on the first link, that's a different set of customers. If people click on second link, that's a different set of customers, right? This is how I will try to understand my audience who is reading my email, right? Why should you do audience aggregation? support your content marketing efforts. Agreed? If there is a team which does content marketing, right? It is easier for them to do content marketing if they can know the right kind of audience who will see the content. Do you guys agree with me on this? Right? It's easier for you to show the right content if you exactly know whom are you showing to, right? No, Malika, the idea is any platform, be it social media, email or whatever, the logic will be same, right? The logic will be same, the tool will be different, right? So if we go in depth for every platform, we might end up spending 50 hours. So the idea is over here, we will in the next class on Thursday, we will give you the exact logic behind this, and then you can use it on any tool. You should know how to drive, be it a bike, scooter or whatever. If you know how to drive, you can drive any vehicle, right? Same way you should know how to apply the logic on why it is done and all that stuff. Then with any tool for you, it will be very, very easy. It will be piece of cake, right? Don't worry about that. You still want in depth, maybe we can talk about this. Okay? Don't worry about that, right? So support your content effort of marketing. First step, have a base set of audience to promote your content, right? Engage potential customers over long term if they are not ready to buy it, right? So definitely customers, remember I told you last class, most of us are in the mode of doing a research. They are not there to buy it. So when you have audience aggregation, you can use different engagement magnets to engage your future customers over long term if they are not there to buy it. You have to create more opportunities to convert, right? This is why you will aggregate an audience. First of all, why? So that your content team of marketing will have some data to promote the content, and then you can engage your customers over long term and make them buy eventually your product or service, right? So this is a simple example. What kind of opportunities? Opportunities which will learn basically opportunity to convert would be either maybe a e-commerce company will like them to buy something, maybe a denim or shoes by showing them different metrics of engagement. Or if it is a company of education, they will want you to download the course, go for a free webinar, and then enroll for the course. So if you have come to this course, it was not in the first interaction. First, you must have read the content. You must have got some emails as a sample content or sample video. Then you must have got a link for a free training from Kapil or somebody. After you went through a free webinar, then you actually thought of going for this course. So there were different opportunities like engagement of having a content first, giving a content of inbound marketing, then giving a PDF file on what is Facebook deep dive ads, then giving an opportunity to come for a free webinar, right? So when I say opportunities, it could be anything which will keep you engaged, which will ensure that you are always in the loop of what we want to offer you. Right, Manan? Great. So this is in nutshell audience aggregation. The audience is there. You will nurture them using the content, right? And then harvest. Something like, when you sow seeds, right? When you want to do, when you do, agriculture, you sow these seeds, then you put water, right? Then you put the right soil, you make it nurture, you make it really good wet soil, white soil, and then you get the benefits of harvesting it. That is audience aggregation cycle. You first get the people on your website, that's audience. You do audience aggregation. From there, you make leads. From leads, you actually convert by doing content nurturing, right? That's why content is the key over here. If your content is good, definitely you will get more conversions, right? This is the model. Audience, content marketing, it again goes to audience, and then you convert, right? So lead harvesting through call to action. Call to action could be click here to buy, download now for free webinar, right? Click here to get a free email on inbound marketing. And once it goes to audience, lead harvesting through inbound interest. Then the customer will show his interest. That's called inbound marketing, right? So it's a cycle. You get an audience, you do content marketing, it goes back to audience, audience shows interest, you again give him a content, he again shows interest, and that's how you convert, right? How do we support the content marketing, right? Something like this. You can use a email promotion, right? So you can send an email with subject line like, for example, Neil Patel. If you guys know Neil Patel, he's a very famous blogger. So we once sent him an email just to understand his inbound ways of marketing. He said, look at this email, how content marketing or how content length affects ranking and conversions. Hey Manas, I just wanted to share with you the latest quick sprout blog post. Let me what you think. And this is how they gave me content, right? So one way of keeping or trying to support your content marketing is through emails or through Twitter. One of the biggest examples of Twitter is, anybody can understand which famous company usually uses Twitter to get a lot of sales. Anybody knows it? Any famous company? Mukesh is right. Dell, they use Twitter like house of fire. They get almost 28 to 30% of the sales through Twitter, right? So you can use Twitter to promote your product, something like Kissmetrics, right? HubSpot, Facebook promotion. So HubSpot is, so you can also use Facebook to promote, right? Now, my question is, on this screen, you see this is the main content. Landing pages are the secret sauce to lead generation. Check out these 3 real-life landing page makeovers before and after, and a link is there of a blog or whatever. So what is this? HubSpot wants you to understand, right, that the best way to generate really good leads is through landing pages. You guys agree with me on that? That the main content or the main summary of this entire image and whatever HubSpot is showing, it is showing that the landing page is the best way to get lead generation. Now, you see these 4 articles. Let me zoom this page. You see this? The same thing, right, has been remodified slightly, and we have 4 different content now. Why do we need this? The same content, why have I just changed it here and there, and I have 4 different formats or 4 different contents which mean the same? Anybody can guess why I'm doing that? It's time, right? It's time consuming, but still I am doing that. Why? You guys got my question? Same content which has almost the same meaning, same picture, whatever. I am actually going ahead and making it 4 times. Why? Why would I do that? Absolutely correct. Mohit and Mukesh and Manan and Malika, absolutely correct. I'm doing it for different platforms, right? Different platforms, right? Like for this, on the left, the first one, I am doing it for Facebook, right? On Twitter, I can only have 160 or 140 characters, something like this on Twitter, before and after 3 year life. On G Plus, maybe I can only use some content and I want images, right? On, let's say, blogs, I have a different thing for my blog. Facebook, they need bigger images and less of text content. Agreed? This thing is called content repurposing and remarketing, right? So what is this called? Content repurposing is I'm trying to use the same content on different social mediums or different channels of online media. That's called repurposing. And content spraying is I'm using all the options available on online medium to showcase my products, right? That's very important. Content repurposing and content spraying, people usually get confused in this. Content repurposing is I'm trying to reuse or use the same content on different channels of online media. Guys, agreed? I'm using almost same content on Facebook, my blog, Google Plus, Twitter, right? Almost same. This is called content repurposing. And content spraying is nothing but I'm using everything possible to show my content. Right guys, any doubt on this content repurposing plus content spraying? If you have, because this is where a lot of people get confused, right? So if you think I should repeat this, I can repeat this once again, right? Content repurposing is trying to use, no, that's the only benefit it is, right? Benefit is I don't have to waste much of time. The same content, I'm using it across different medias, that repurposing. Spraying is I have to use different mediums to become more famous, to become more visible online. That's the benefit. The benefit is I'll be more visible, and the other thing is I'm saving time on not making different content for different media, right? The biggest benefit is save time and I'm getting more and more visible. This is the biggest benefit of content repurposing and spraying, right? So you guys, when you handle any campaigns, you can tell your, keep track of all this. Track of what all, Malika? Can you just tell me? I'm actually very confused myself now. Sorry, Rachit, when you say all this, when you say all this, what do you mean by that? Post. Okay. So on different medium, to be very honest, this is a online platform. I really cannot give any names over here, but I will try to use some CRM like Salesforce most probably. Salesforce is a very good CRM to keep a lot of information on different things. Salesforce is a very good CRM. Salesforce is a good CRM to understand your audience aggregation, right? And for this, probably to understand on people's reaction on how they find my website really well, how they react to my different content, I will use Google Analytics. CRM basically means customer relationship manager, right? That's the actual full form of CRM. You can have one automated software to take care of different things. Yeah, most CRMs will have this feature, definitely, right? And trust me, you can't use one tool for everything. You have to use different tools, right? You can't say I'll only use one tool for all my online campaigns. Then you will never be successful. The only thing that is constant, Mukesh, startups, low cost. I think best is have a manual thing like maybe you can use GA to understand this, right? And content you can check, have somebody who can upload this, on different verticals and check the data using Google Analytics. right? That's the best way to actually gauge the data because that's for free. Most of them are paid, right? But they have a trial offer. So maybe you can keep using trial offers by changing your email address here and there. That's what you can do, right? The Kissmetrics will have a trial of 14 days, okay? Or you can use something like, yeah, Salesforce is expensive, or you can use something like MailChimp, mainly for your email aggregation. MailChimp is good. It's a free tool mainly for email. You can use your content to send emails to people, and you can send 2,000 emails free to 12,000 customers. That's what you can do, right? But start using trial offers. That's something which you can do. Okay, guys. What you can do is, Mukesh and Rachit, I would advise do some online research. No, Malika. No. Something that's not possible. You can't make everything automated. As of now, it's difficult. If you make everything automated, then there is no use of you and me, right? Your landing page, maybe you can use one landing page for different thing. You can have 5 different landing pages and give it to 5 different tools. That's possible, right? You can use, some HTML coding, right? Which you can do through server redirection and all that stuff. But you can't say if this is there, show this. If that's there, show that. No. It should be done by a software coder by using Java arrays and functions or HTML coding. But without that, you can't do it, right? You need to have some automated code at the backend. Somebody who is good in website development would can do it if you can ask him to do that, right? Of course, they will charge you for that, right, guys? And Mukesh and Rachit, I would suggest, after this class, do a online research of few tools. You can use WordPress. That's the best probably. WordPress. I think that's the best right now. And Yoshna, you're welcome. And Mukesh and Rachit, what you can do is after this class, I would suggest do some research on these tools. So guys, you got the logic of what is this? What is audience aggregation, content repurposing and spraying? Try to find some tools and maybe uh, if you find something interesting, you can share with us next week. Because guys, trust me, there are almost a million tools, right? Something which I like, you will not like. Because I will have a different need, different approach, and you will have a different need and approach. But we can discuss those tools in our class. If you can tell me this tool how it is, I can't say it's good or bad, but I can say, yeah, this is what you can do with this tool. Fair enough? Because this being an online platform with a lot of people, I cannot really say any tool is good or bad, right? But we can discuss on the tool because this is a public forum. Fair enough, guys? Before we even proceed, is the logic clear of what is audience aggregation, how you can use content repurposing and content spraying, and why you should do audience aggregation to help your content team of marketing, right? Maybe guys who have been quiet like Deepak, Himshika, uh, Sanjay, Shreya, Shreyosi, right? You guys are able to follow, right? Deepak, Himshika, Malika, Nitish was there, Rohan, Sanjay, Shreya, Parekh, Shruti, great, right? So this is in nutshell content repurposing and spraying. You can also use track.in to LinkedIn promotion, right? Now, somebody had these questions, right, about opportunities. Why and what, right? Engage potential customers over long term, right? And the answer was try to create different opportunities for your customers to convert over the long run, right? And then there was a question, what is opportunities? So opportunities is trying to understand the state of your future customer, right? Every customer is stuck in the different stage of the buying cycle, right? Remember, there was a funnel of marketing. Customer first we create awareness, then we create preference, then we promote, then we action, loyalty. So you have to understand the state of your potential customers. Somebody who knows about the opportunity of why he or she should use your services, right? For example, if I am selling a washing machine, the opportunity is automatic washing machine. Simple. Somebody who is aware of your product, somebody who is stuck at a buying stage, somebody who trusts your brand, and somebody who has a sense of urgency for purchase. These are different steps. So how can you engage the customer? To engage the customer, you should show him the relevant content. How will you know the content, or how will you know what content to show? For that, you should know which stage or which state of the buying cycle is your customer stuck in, right? So once you get that, you can plant and nurture your ideas. How? Somebody who knows about the opportunity, somebody who is aware of your product, somebody who's stuck at a buying stage, somebody who may not trust your brand. They like your product, they like everything, they don't trust your brand, right? Or somebody who's just about to buy. Do you think once you know this, it will be easier for you to nurture your audience and push them for conversion? Yes, no, maybe, probably, and you can make a more list which can expand. But these 5 points are what you need to understand. Does he even know about a product, right? Maybe he's trying to buy, he's trying to book, but he's confused with the pricing. Then you give him offer. Maybe he's not trusting our brand. He wants to buy immediately, right? This is called funnel dropout. Remember, I was telling you this funnel percentage: awareness, consideration, preference, action, loyalty. Left side is how the customer enters, right side is how he proceeds. Look at the way the funnel is shrinking, right? The whole idea is using audience aggregation, right? You need to refunnel the dropouts, right? So somebody who was trying to, who's aware of your product is not coming back. So show him your content once again and try to push him to a state of consideration. Now he has considered buying a car. Okay, I want to buy a car. Why should he buy your car? So you give him more information so that he prefers your car, and then you push him with offers. 20% off on your accessories, free insurance, whatever. And once he buys something, try to make him a loyal customer. How? By trying to invite him for maintenance or whatever. So the whole idea is by doing audience aggregation, refunnel your dropouts, right? And guys, next 5 minutes, you guys can make a note of this. From my previous feedbacks, what I have understood is this content is actually worth the course. The biggest effective way to refunnel dropouts is convince the customer about the opportunity, why he or she should use this car, for example, or why should you use a jogging shoes to run, right? Educate the customer about the usage of your product. Remove any barriers he may have. Barriers like, do they have a refund policy? What if I don't like the product? What do I trust this? What if the product doesn't come? All the barriers should be removed in your content. Incentivize usage and reward loyalty. These both can be clubbed, both can be different also. When I say incentivize usage, something like Uber does. In Ola right now they have a promotion. If you do 4 bookings in next 1 week, they will give you a free ride of 200 rupees. That is called incentivizing the usage. Reward loyalty is if you refer more customers, you will get a discount coupon, right? is how you would refunnel dropouts. Create a sense of urgency. Hi, how? Last day of offer. 2 hours to for this deal. We see all this when we see ads, right? That is called creating a sense of urgency. That is, if you don't do it right now, you will miss it. Then trigger purchase action. What is purchase action? Buy now. Click here, right? I'll repeat once again. You will refunnel the dropout percentage by convincing about the opportunity, educate about the usage, by removing any barriers the customers may have. Barriers like, is the brand trustworthy? Right? Possible? What if I lose my money? What if I don't like the product? Will I get a refund? The reviews are bad. Maybe something I need to work upon. Then you need to incentivize the usage. You have these loyalty cards from lot of companies. So if it is like Max or whatever, this can be club, reward loyalty. Absolutely no need of KYC. Or if you take ICICI Bank recently or HDFC Bank or any bank, nowadays they just come with a machine. They they ask your Aadhaar card number and open your account. Remove all the barriers, right? You don't need to give me a photocopy of your license, passport, nothing. Just Aadhaar card number, it's all linked. Then create a sense of urgency. I'm sure you guys know this. Last 3 hours for sale, 2 days to go, 24 hours more to go. That is the urgency they're creating. 80% off on this product for next 30 minutes, right? And then trigger the purchase action like buy now, click here, download now, all that stuff, right? That's it, guys. So Thursday we will learn different examples of this, right? Real life examples of companies which have used this, and then we'll understand how we can use this on different platforms like social, like Facebook or email or whatever, right? On Thursday we will do a real life case studies of some companies on how they can proceed with audience segregation and refunnel the dropouts. So welcome Mohit, right guys? Hopefully you guys understood this. Please give your feedback on this feedback link, right? And guys, before we end the session, any questions on what we did today? So first thing is you have to understand the common features of your audience, right? Once you understand them, right, then you can show the right content to the right customer. How? By understanding which state is your customer in. And once you understand that, plant and nurture your ideas by answering these questions to your customer, right? So on Thursday we will do practical thing. Any other way? No, nothing for free, Nitish. At least not for free. Only thing is through LinkedIn, but that's also you have to try the paid version, right? Okay, guys. Any other question that you guys have? You're welcome, Yashna. Thank you all for joining the session today. Good night. See you again on Thursday. Until then, good night. Take care. Welcome, Sanjay. And guys, please give your feedback. Okay. HubSpot, definitely Rachit, if you are planning to join a corporate company, right, or some company, then yeah, it has some amount of value, definitely Rachit, right? It does have some amount of value, especially if you're looking for job-oriented thing. Definitely yes, it does hold some value for sure. Right, Rachit? You're welcome, guys. Good night. Sleep safe, and see you guys on Thursday. Take care until then. Bye bye. Welcome, Malika. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Was very interactive. You guys are very interactive. Take care and bye bye. Sleep well.